And
Boy. Yep.
I fixed my this one for? And I can shrink myself a little bit.
All right. Well, that's if you see on my side there, if you're watching that, that's what it's supposed to look like. Right there. See that? Look at that.
Yeah. Um,
Anyways, what are we doing? We're doing not that. We're
I
not doing
see.
that. Yeah, we're doing a little 2096. We're doing a little story time. Yeah, this is 2096, a post-apocalyptic D12 role-playing game set in the not-so-distant future. Intelligence is rewarded, stupidity is punished. Well, we're not really playing a game right now, are we? We're just doing some lore as we try to figure things out. And we decided to stream this, didn't we? I lost you, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
I'm
I'm gonna.
still playing Minecraft.
That's
I feel
fine.
like that should be a
See, I like that. Like on your stream, it's I mean you're close. At least I'm in the right place and you're in the right place. You know what I mean? And when we talk it lights up, so that's cool.
yeah, they can tell who's talking.
Yeah, but there's no background or, map or anything. So whatever. It's going to be a work in progress. But what are we doing? Well, we were talking about I think you were telling me about something you wanted to do with massive amounts of things. I don't know. Let's start with you. How
I
how
like large amounts of stuff.
yeah, but specifically like sending things out from maybe a facility or the desert, it was to, I don't know, attack in waves. What was the actual thing?
I've just been watching this really cool anime where they're having these people that are just fighting these waves of like alien like monsters, and they're just fighting them, just these droves and droves of enemies, and they're getting so used to fighting them that they get caught off guard when they're thrown one of a different type. And it's just so cool watching them adapt.
Oh yes, and then I think from there I went to, well, do you know the story of Usamagi and how he came into the wasteland? And I believe you said no. Isn't that what you said?
Not really. I just know
No.
he's created by some smart scientist guy from the sandpit.
Well,
It got something to do with the spring too, I think.
yes, and that is where the story starts because as you see this green area up here, it's not really at the sandpit, but well, some distance away from it. Behind where my icon is. I can't see that, so I'm just going to move the icon like down there. There we go. You can all see that. That's great. As the sandpit is a starting area, it is filled with. Why is Overboss up here? What is that? Get out of here. I don't know what that was. The sandpit, right? It is the home of the desert worm hunters, the fabled desert worm hunters. They get big worms. They supply a lot of the desert worm for most of Region 1, which, as you can see, as I zoom out here right now, it's pretty large. There's some mega cities, there's settlements and all that. But you know what? That doesn't matter. I'm gonna move our icons over here. There you go. You can kind of see the sand pit. You can see the green icon. Because speaking of things coming out of the ground, I think it was up here. I don't know. We're gonna move it up there. That's a better location, I feel like, for it. Because Usamagi doesn't even know his full story and why he was created, although there's a long history. And if you want to know all of it, go watch some of the past sessions on YouTube because they're not on Twitch for obvious reasons. But, anyways, Usamagi began his life, well, looking around the wasteland. Behind him, a large crater in the ground. A very large crater, not unlike the one some of the players recently created in a dome underground, which might have had dinosaurs, which is an entire another story. However, when Usamagi looked around, he saw an icon, a waypoint, as it would be, on the horizon. Not knowing what to do, he followed said waypoint. Eventually, after some time in the desert, mind you, he's an android, so he doesn't need to breathe, he doesn't need food, he doesn't need water, and he is sustained by a core within him, which can actually keep him alive for decades. At least his consciousness. His body, well, that's another story. However, as it would be, he came across a large sand brawler, a six-wheeled desert vehicle, which stopped, and a couple of individuals got out. Inquiring to what he was doing in the middle of the wasteland, they eventually took him, and they headed towards the town of Darwin, which is, well, quite some distance away. You can see Darwin's all the way down here, but that's where they ended up. In which case, he met a bunch of people, a lot of things happened. But back to the story of, well, creatures coming out of the ground. As he continued to progress his storyline, he realized, well, sort of realized, that he had the core to his creator. After he got to the waypoint, actually, his creator was in the relics of a motorcycle, is the best way to describe it, unbeknownst to the ones who owned it. However, he recovered it and pretty much went around the wasteland for a while with 2 cores until he decided to give his creator, which is who was in it, his body and sent him on his way. Unfortunately, his body also had a couple, well, maybe 100,000, couple of million credit bounty on his head, which wasn't great for the creator, but that's a later story. As Uzumaki continued to venture, he realized that he had a sister, and that what was going on outside in the desert, outside of the sand pit, was something along the lines of androids being created and coming out of the ground, well, in numbers that were quite surprising, to the point where the sand boss, the boss of the sand pit, took matters into his own hand and had to call in some connections to, well, take care of the situation. The crater being formed behind Uzumaki by some satellite rain, which was called down by one of the corporations after a long story, which involved some of the other players who are not playing anymore, chapters and chapters ago. The idea was, well, there were things happening. Usumaki's creator had created androids with a specific purpose, unbeknownst to everyone else and unknown, actually, to this day, when, well, they were in the middle of the worm hunting grounds. And as they started to take out and put a, how should I put it? Well, it wasn't working out for the sandpit boss, as he was concerned over the safety of not only the sandpit, but his desert worm hunters, as, well, they were disappearing. Androids happened to come out of the desert, which may or may not be blowing themselves up on the edges of town, causing quite, well, a massive amount of damage. Obviously, that wasn't good for business for worm hunting, or for pretty much anyone that, well, lived on the sustenance of the great desert worms. So, from there, things happened, and the facility was destroyed, with a few survivors. Uzumaki, his sister, which we just call the android girl, and the creator were those who escaped and remained alive. As the creator parted from Uzumaki and headed off in his own direction with his own goals, Uzumaki continued to live, well, to this point, an interesting life, where now he has a 5 million credit bounty on him. He's taken down executive airships, and basically caused a lot of nuisance for a lot of people. Not really what his creator wanted him to do, but the creator's ultimate goal, everyone's unsure of, as he has stated to Uzumaki that he should find his sister, the android girl, which Kiki took from, well, the sand barge they were traversing on, to Darwin, and then, well, theoretically to Omega, which is a utopian megacity. Which, yes, is a little hard to comprehend in a world of such suffering and a wasteland, but these corporations have unlimited technologies behind them. And Omega, at least inside its walls, is definitely a utopia. Although many players don't know that, because they have yet to traverse the very long distances and make it to the city. Most of them, if they do make it there, are caught up in the red light district with gambling and drugs and black markets and, well, love dolls everywhere. But Omega is actually another story. This one is about Uzumaki and him meeting, well, a series of players in Darwin and Needless and making his way past the reaches to Baseland and even Genesis.
A lot of traveling.
There is a lot of traveling. This is why I'm opening up regions, actually, because Region 1 is, there's a lot of places in Region 1 you guys haven't been to yet, still. I'm going to say that. But
I still want to go to the deep desert.
there's desert worm hunting and lots of money to be made out there. Maybe some of the new players, with the new sessions, we can do that. But yes, going back to like you wanting to like make, you know, how would you put it? An army that
I mean,
could
I want to
seriously.
look for some factories.
Yeah,
I was
I
thinking
mean
it'd be
that's.
so cool to run up on like a chocolate factory.
Oh, we're doing Willy Wonka now, because I could sing that for you if you really wanted to, but I'm not going to. But you get the gist. I mean, the whole idea is like, yeah, it was basically he was producing androids for some purpose you're not sure of. Nobody's really sure of. Uzumaki, I think, forgot in his endeavors and his exploits, but there was a purpose. There might have been also heavy weapons platforms involved and old players who, who fought some of these heavy weapons platforms, which leads everyone to, well, some place you haven't been to. This little place up here. You might see it on the map. It's called the Spring. It's called the Spring. How can I? There we go. We're going to click over on this side. There you go. The Spring, which is where you were all headed to, actually, when the most recent group in our newest, well, our latest season left Darwin. And as you were headed to the Spring, which is a massive resource of water, because once again, there is no water pretty much up here. There's biofilm foam and a lot of other things. You guys headed this way, right? You headed off into this radioactive area when, to make sure people weren't going directly towards the spring and realized you were being followed. And that's when it got interesting, because you guys continued and kept going until you encountered something which might have been, caused emotional damage to most of us, which might be a later module. Yeah, it's not fun.
Was there just
Let's
like
just say
a
that.
few-year time skip?
When you guys like maybe like between seasons, it might be now.
No, you said like 4 or 5 different cities. We started at like the sand pit,
Yep.
and then he went to, I don't know. You said like Needless and Darwin and Genesis. That's at least 3 cities across the
Yeah,
whole region.
no, this is literally so when he emerged outside of like this area, right? Getting to Darwin and all this stuff happening, the spring, that was probably a week. We're talking like months here. It's been a few months, maybe a year total of him traversing the wasteland. It's been quick. Once again, the game's all about action and adventure, and yeah. It's been an interesting story for Uzumaki. But yes, going back to the factory underground, there's a lot of things you guys have not uncovered, Derek. I mean, some of you don't have much to cover. But it's all about the details. What else did you want to know?
Just what stuff is there under all the sand? And I've noticed that there's sandworms in the occasional water, but
There are.
people go out there looking for stuff.
They do, because there are brokers who want, well, VHS tapes, mini discs. You know what a mini disc is? Just curious. Do you?
I mean, I know what a MIDI is.
You don't know what a
The
mini disc is.
keyboard
All right, mini
noises.
disc. Nope, we're talking about mini disc players. That tells you how old I am. Anyways, yes, VHS, discs, records, tobacco. There's all kinds of fun things down below the surface. Lots of scenarios, lots of ways to become very, very wealthy in 2096 if you can survive the harsh wasteland, the desert storms, the lightning, the fucking gas. Oh yeah, there are amazing things below the surface, which we really haven't got to discover because, well, I mean, you know how amazing it can be below the surface because Derek saw some of that shit firsthand. You know, large dinosaurs with multiple fucking limbs, and yeah, that was it. That was mindfuckery.
Traumatizing.
That was. That's going to be an advanced module, by the way, and yes, I'm traumatized from that fucking module. I really am. I am. And that says something because I usually don't give a fuck, but that hurt us all. Really did. Let's see, what else? Hmm. I don't know. What else? What else were we talking about before all this? I mean, we spent some time setting up like
I
images.
mean,
I realize I'm not recording this. I'm just streaming it, so I don't know what that's gonna do. I don't know if I can actually fucking maybe on YouTube this will come up as like something. I don't know. I don't know. It's new. It's been a while.
I don't know.
This is new. Yeah. What else? There was some other stuff. I love the see you can kind of see like I mean, we got our heads on your stream and then we've got like darkness, which is fun. It's cool.
I am
Kind of
trying to
eerie.
fix the darkness right now.
It's eerie. I like it.
Um,
You got to do actually like I said, so we're not really like
it is. I'm trying to figure out how to
playing.
add the Roll20 because I don't want to do
So,
screen
all right,
capture.
screen down to sources or scroll down to sources. You see window capture it should say. Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
All right, so double click that.
See, that would be a start, is having the main thing I have up be the Roll20 on full screen.
Yeah, so it's got to be on a different like I don't know, put on a different something. But yeah, if you go down, you hit the window capture, pull that up, you're going to see what window, find the Roll20 window. And I lost the Roll20 window. Why is mine gone? What did I do?
I got it.
Do, 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 do. Meanwhile, I lost mine because there it is. All right.
That doesn't
Anyways.
fit right.
Well, you know, you might have to adjust some stuff.
Right.
This is
Oh,
all,
because I need it behind. It needs to be
yes,
one of
it's
the
got to,
bottom things, I think.
or no, bring it all the way to the bottom pretty much, and then resize that. See, I see it. That's cute. Nice in the corner.
Okay, I just need the full screen OBS. That'll speed things up.
It's fine. You're
Okay,
close.
there.
It's close. Or maybe actually no, zoom. I think it's resized right because I see your like fucking icon on the left. You just got to zoom in on it so that it
Yeah,
fills up.
zoomed out a little.
Yeah, it fills up the whole screen. There you go. See, look at that. Look at that. There we go. That's pretty much it.
It is wrong because it is set to. Okay, that's an issue. It is set to a tiny corner of my screen because this is another of the 4K issues.
Damn 4K. No, that looks good. Like I said, you still now you got to set up the roll slide and the pulsing in and out. But that's almost pretty much what I have. Almost. You're close.
Wait, that's not right.
You're close.
Well, that fits.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah. See, getting
Like
better.
that.
Yeah. You every session you got to resize stuff. Things move around. Now you
That
just
doesn't
need.
seem right still.
Now you're just missing the. Well, you're missing the pulsing like 2096 in the upper left, but that's close.
Progress.
No, I also have it's like sized in the middle because we got like, in the lower left you've got me and Zool. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I like
So
that. I think.
arrange it however you want.
Yeah, but I need to get the other stuff on there.
What else are we doing? What else were we doing before this? Because we spent quite some time just, I don't know, whatever we're doing.
Um, I mean, I got my scenarios. If we want to give that a shot.
You
See how
do?
that goes.
Should we just keep this layout,
We could do that.
or do we want to we change it?
And I'm going to how I have the scenarios written is they're very open ended. I think I
All
wrote
right.
them kind of the opposite way you do.
Yeah.
Where it's mainly key points, some set expectations for what might happen around those points, and then I tried to find a structure of like 5 to 6 story points or something.
All right. So let's see. I mean, I'm gonna say this was all like a test. Like I said, I wasn't recording up to this whole fucking story. We were just trying to set things up. Do you want to continue to try
I
to
think
set
it'd be cool
things?
to record this.
I mean, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't record up to this point. We're streaming, just to see. But do you want to finish setting up the overlay so it looks like mine, or
No, I don't think so.
okay? Do you want
It's
to
good
just
enough.
do you want to switch it
Having the
around?
Roll20 and the reactive images is all we need.
Okay.
I probably will move where they are to the
Well, I was gonna say I would want to
player
switch
and
it.
arbitrating section.
Yeah. So do we? I feel like left and right is going to be better. Once again, we'll go back to like the original side, and so I'm not in the middle.